I caught my kid watching porn. What should I do? That's our topic today. And first, before we even get into anything, wow, that is really painful, almost traumatic for you as a mom or dad, and then have to tell the other parent what you're going through. It is very big. So I want you to stay tuned for a few minutes and hear some ideas that might be helpful for you as you try to figure out what is going on. How can you help? And the biggest fear is like, is this going to be a problem for life? Stay tuned. Now, if you haven't subscribed, please do. We got lots of information on lots of topics that can help your life. And also, if you have a question, please put it in the box. We'll get to it as soon as we can. So, hang on. I caught my kid watching porn. What should I do? That is a big topic. We're not going to get to all of it, but we're going to spend some time. First of all, validate your own pain about that. You raised your kid better. They know better, right? You have feelings about that, hurt, anger, fear. Acknowledge your feelings about that. That's the first thing you do, not to your child, of course, but to yourself. I feel disappointed. Now, a lot of parents have some really bad thinking about parenting, so let's deal with that right up front. Especially if you come from a religious Christian side, you have this kind of expected outcome that if you're a good mom, you're a good dad, and you love God and you do all the right things, your kids should do the same. Well, I want to just open this up for a minute. I have a whole book called The Prodigal Parent Process, and it's very, very helpful on this topic, but parenting is a gamble. You can be incredible parents and your kids choose to be criminals because of free will. You could be sucky parents, totally, multiply addicted, multiply cheating, multiply lying, multiple marriage, all whatever, in a mess. And you might have a pastor as a child. My point is, there's no outcome. Now, what you need to do, I know you're under a lot of stress right now to solve this. I'm going to get to that. But you need to take the pressure off of you. Everyone has free choice. A lot of kids who watch porn, they get it from their friends, they get it from their cell phones. Now, let's address that right up front. If you give your 9-year-old or 10-year-old or 14-year-old a cell phone and you don't put a porn blocker on it, you handed them a porn store. Most of the internet is pornography. Most of the money spent on the internet is pornography. Most of the phishing is pornography. You just walked your child into a porn store if you didn't put a porn blocker on it. And you can go to drdougweiss.com and there's a porn blocker button. Hit it. Get it. Okay? Myself, my kids, we all had porn blockers on there. Because I said, well, if they're going to have one, I'm going to have one. Okay, so they can't say, oh, well, you don't have one. No, I have one. I don't want to be impacted by pornography either. Okay? And the porn blocker that we subscribe to and want you to, it's incredible. So please, if you have not done that, okay, maybe you didn't know to do that, but you need to know now and go do it today. Don't waste time with that. Now, your kids are not entitled to cell phones. If that's where they're getting the pornography, they're not entitled to a computer. They can have that in the living room and do their homework that way. So think about what your child actually feels entitled to. They're not. Okay, the world grew up without technology. I didn't have a cell phone growing up, neither did you. Okay, but if you're giving it to them, you can either whitelist what they can go on. They can go on this news situation, this learning thing. That's the best way to protect it. A porn blocker is another way to protect it. And also, not letting them have their cell phones or computers in their bedrooms. That's a really good boundary to have. Making sure that your televisions are protected so that they can't go in there and get access to that. Their games are sometimes a way to get into pornography because you got to go on the internet and then they jump into another situation. Their apps on their phones. You need to be able to be in control of that. You have to be the person with the password. So an app doesn't jump out to the internet and they can't go through an app to get on the internet to get into pornography. You need to be a little bit more intelligent about how these things work. And if you don't, ask another kid. They know how these things work. You know, don't ask a 50-year-old about apps. Ask a 12-year-old. You know, but you can get these blocked. You need to be the person in control of that. Now, depending on what you saw, depending if the history is, you know, a month or 6 years long, and you need to know the history of what your kids are looking at on the internet, and the porn blocker gives you that every week, so you can have that. But this could be an incident, you know, and it makes a difference if they got caught or whether they told you. You know, if they disclose, hey, I'm really struggling, be really gentle with the way you walk through this. If it's getting caught and they keep hiding and lying and hiding and lying, well, you need to block access at that point. And if you can, this is a serious thing.